Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of FCA Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Weekly digest for week 2 of May 2026. French company Saint-Gobain will invest nearly $1 billion in India over the next 5 years. This investment signals a major shift towards emerging markets for growth. India's growing population and urbanization are key drivers. Saint-Gobain aims to triple its business in India within 10 years. The company is expanding its presence in various infrastructure projects across the country. Tata Electronics is rapidly expanding its semiconductor and electronics manufacturing operations. The company has achieved significant revenue growth and is now profitable. With ambitious plans, it aims to become a $30 billion business in the next 5 years. Tata Electronics is building India's first semiconductor fab and an assembly and test unit, securing global customers and partners. The central government on Saturday notified 100% foreign direct investment or FDI in insurance companies under the automatic route, allowing greater participation from foreign investors. Life Insurance Corporation of India or LIC will remain under a separate framework with foreign investment capped at 20% under the automatic route. India is embarking on an innovative strategy to enhance apprenticeship programs tailored for micro, small and medium enterprises. Focused reforms in policies, regulations and financial frameworks are on the table, with the group training model being a key contender. The goal is to equip the nation's youth with essential workforce skills by 2047. Public sector banks are stepping up their push into wealth management, traditionally dominated by private lenders, by leveraging their large customer base, digital capabilities and expanding advisory services. The move is aimed at improving customer engagement as household savings shift from bank deposits to market-linked instruments and risk products. Indian Bank plans to set up a wealth management vertical targeting high net worth individuals, while sectoral leader State Bank of India aims to grow its wealth assets under management fivefold to Rs 15 lakh crore by 2030. A State Bank of India-led consortium is looking at providing Rs 25,000 crore debt funding to Vodafone Idea. This comes after the government significantly reduced the telco's dues. Vodafone Idea is also seeking Rs 10,000 crore for working capital. The company plans a 3-year turnaround program focusing on network upgrades and 5G expansion. Biocon founder Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw has named her niece Claire Mazumdar as her successor. Claire Mazumdar, a successful CEO of Bicara Therapeutics, brings scientific expertise and deal-making skills. She is poised to lead Biocon into its next growth phase. The company is focusing on biosimilars and advanced biologics. India has eased foreign direct investment rules for companies with up to 10% Chinese or Hong Kong shareholding. These firms can now invest in India through the automatic route starting May 1, 2026. This change aims to boost investment flows. Previously, stricter rules applied due to security concerns. The government has also expedited clearances for certain manufacturing sectors. The Reserve Bank of India has flagged a concerning trend involving fraudulent loan waiver initiatives. These fraudulent campaigns claim to erase debts owed to banks and non-banking financial companies, but are merely traps set by dishonest individuals aiming to profit through false promises and upfront fees. The Indian automobile industry is staring at a hit of about Rs 25,000 crore on bottom line for financial year 26, with the Environment Protection End-of-Life Vehicles Rules 2025 triggering an accounting standard clause that requires automakers to make budgetary provision for environmental compensation for vehicles sold in the past. According to industry executives, a clause in the Environment Protection End-of-Life Vehicle Rules 2025, notified by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in January 2025, has spooked automakers after the auditors flagged the magnitude of its ramifications. This rule triggers accounting standard Ind AS 37, provisions contingent liabilities and contingent assets, which means automakers will have to make substantial financial provisions for the cost of EPR certificates for all vehicles sold over the past 20 years for private and 15 years for commercial. Leading dairy products brand Milky Mist Dairy Food Limited has raised about Rs 482 crore from Jongsong Investments Pte Limited, an indirect wholly owned subsidiary of Temasek Holdings, in a pre-initial public offering or IPO funding round. The fundraise includes a primary capital infusion of Rs 357 crore and a secondary share sale worth about Rs 125 crore ahead of the company's proposed IPO. The entire primary investment was led by Jongsong Investments, marking a significant institutional backing from Temasek. Infosys completed the acquisition of Optimum Healthcare IT, a digital transformation and consulting firm focused on healthcare providers. With this acquisition, Infosys will expand its presence by adding new clients and strengthening its technology capabilities. The company plans to combine Optimum's experience with its platforms, including Infosys Topaz and Infosys Cobalt, to offer end-to-end cloud, data, and digital transformation services. Reliance Industries is set to make a significant entry into satellite communications. The company plans a multi-billion-dollar investment in the low Earth orbit segment. This move positions Reliance against global players like Starlink and Amazon Leo. 6 teams are working on various project aspects. The initiative aligns with India's goal for a domestic SATCOM presence. Kumar Mangalam Birla has returned as non-executive chairman of Vodafone Idea to lead its turnaround. The company, bolstered by government relief and a $5 billion capital expenditure, aims to secure debt funding and achieve significant revenue and EBITDA growth. Birla expressed confidence in Vodafone India's role in India's digital future. Bank loans for washing machines and televisions are falling. Banks are now focusing on credit cards for these purchases. Non-banking finance companies are taking over this market. This trend is driven by small loan amounts involved. Consumer durable loans represent a tiny fraction of total bank lending. This shift is expected to continue. Chinese electronics giant TCL is looking to sell a majority stake in its Indian display plant. The company is seeking between Rs 5,708 and Rs 7,611 crore for the divestment. Several Indian firms are in early stage discussions to acquire the stake. TCL aims to retain a 49% share in the facility. Larsen & Toubro's Minerals and Metals division secured its largest domestic metals order from JSW Steel, valued between Rs 10,000 crore and Rs 15,000 crore. This mega order involves comprehensive engineering, procurement and installation of critical process facilities for JSW Steel's expansion to over 50 MTPA by 2031, primarily at sites in Karnataka and Odisha. Hyderabad has become South India's top ultra-luxury housing market. Transactions for homes over Rs 10 crore reached Rs 8,562 crore in financial year 26. This segment has grown significantly in 4 years. Bengaluru shows rapid growth in unit sales. Chennai remains a niche market. Hyderabad offers more space for investment compared to Bengaluru and Chennai. The government has expedited the process for approving foreign direct investment proposals requiring prior approval. It also provided a special carve-out for investors from countries sharing land borders with India, such as China, by revising the standard operating procedure for applications involving high-priority investments for the country. The move intends to spur capital inflows and give a fillip to the indigenization of high-tech and new-age manufacturing. The new SOP issued on Tuesday puts a fresh time limit of 12 weeks for deciding on FDI applications requiring government approval, while for land border countries this period is compressed to 60 days. Skyroot Aerospace, India's first private rocket startup, has secured $60 million in funding led by American investor Ram Shriram. This investment values the Hyderabad-based company at $1 billion, making it India's first space tech unicorn. The capital will accelerate launch vehicle development, including the upcoming Vikram 1 orbital launch. United Breweries, a major player in India's beer market, is preparing to withdraw from unprofitable regions due to soaring input costs and rigid state pricing controls. The company, facing a significant hit to profitability, will make tough decisions regarding supply, promotions, and market prioritization to ensure financial viability. Apple is investing Rs 100 crore in India to boost green energy. The company is partnering to develop over 150 megawatt of renewable capacity. Initiatives also focus on reducing plastic pollution through recycling and supporting green startups. This expands Apple's commitment to India's environmental future and innovation. McKinsey & Company has renewed its Mumbai office lease in Bandra Kurla complex. The deal involves high rental rates, reflecting sustained demand for prime commercial space. This long-term commitment underscores the value global firms place on premium locations. The lease is effective from October 1, 2026 for 10 years. The deal, signed through 3 separate agreements, involves rentals of as much as Rs 759 per square feet a month, placing it among the highest office lease rates recorded in India. Instant House Help startup Pronto has secured $20 million, doubling its valuation to $200 million. This funding will fuel supply scaling amidst rising competition and demand. The company aims to onboard more professionals and expand services following a recent surge in orders. Air India has reduced more than 500 international flights a month from its schedule this summer as rising jet fuel prices and airspace restrictions weigh on the profitability of long-haul operations. The most significant reductions have come on ultra-long-haul routes to the United States and Canada, where higher fuel burn and longer flying times have increased operating costs. The Reserve Bank of India has asked banks to conduct an internal review of their cyber security preparedness and place a detailed assessment before the respective boards within the next 2 months. The exercise is part of an advisory issued by the central bank on April 27th, directing lenders to further strengthen their cyber defense frameworks amid rising digital and AI-linked risks. The move comes at a time when concerns over vulnerabilities in financial systems have intensified globally, particularly after reports surrounding Anthropic's advanced AI models, Mythos, and its potential ability to identify weaknesses in software systems at unprecedented speed. The board meetings of 2 Tata Trusts, the Sir Dorabji Tata Trust and the Sir Ratan Tata Trust, which together hold a majority stake in Tata Sons, have been postponed to May 16th amid legal challenges. The trusts were earlier scheduled to meet on May 8th to review the representation on the Tata Sons board, including reassessing some nominee directors. The key meetings hold immense significance for the trajectory of India's largest corporate powerhouse. Key topics under discussion were to include governance frameworks, board member representation, and strategic oversight. The sharing of authority between Tata Trusts and Tata Sons was likely to be a key issue. Axis Bank, India's third largest private lender, has secured a $500 million offshore loan from Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group. This 3-year facility will support the bank's lending and general business needs. The loan comes as Indian banks face challenges with loan growth outpacing deposit growth. Axis Bank's loans grew 19% while deposits rose 14% in the year ended March. Financial Services Secretary M. Nagaraju warned the banking community about the potential risks posed by Anthropic's Mythos AI model. He emphasized that banking risks now extend beyond traditional financial concerns to include technology and cyber threats, urging institutions to prepare for potential public release of such advanced AI. Even healthcare has received regulatory approval from the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, or IRDAI, to launch retail health insurance products, marking its entry into India's fast-growing individual insurance segment and expanding beyond its existing group insurance offerings. The approval allows the Bengaluru-based managed care provider to sell policies directly to individuals and families, while also enabling policy portability, letting customers switch to events plans without losing accumulated benefits such as waiting period credits in line with regulatory norms. Emami has acquired a majority stake in the beauty and wellness startup Inknut Digital. In an exchange disclosure, Emami said that it has acquired a 60% stake in the parent company of beauty and wellness brands Vedix and Skincraft. The company said the transaction is valued at Rs 321 crore, including performance-linked adjustments over a 24-month period. The company added that it would acquire the remaining stake in Inknut Digital within the next 4.5 years in 2 tranches from the current closing at a consideration to be determined in accordance with the agreed matrix based on future performance. India's market regulator SEBI has issued a warning about advanced AI tools used for finding system weaknesses. These tools, including Anthropic's Mythos, pose new cybersecurity risks. SEBI has formed a task force called cybersuraksha.ai to address these concerns. The group will examine AI risks and develop strategies. Market participants are urged to strengthen their cybersecurity measures and coordinate with vendors. Swiggy significantly narrowed its losses to Rs 800 crore in Q4 of financial year 26, driven by a 45% revenue surge and the food delivery business quarters growth with unit economics improving, while the out-of-home business achieved its first full year of profitability. India maintained its position as the world's largest recipient of remittances, with inflows reaching $138 billion. This significant economic contribution from its 19 million strong diaspora highlights a decade-long surge driven by earnings from professionals in countries like the US and UAE. The report also notes a shift towards high-skilled migration in sectors such as technology and healthcare. Toyota anticipates a significant financial hit from the Iran war. The automaker expects the crisis to cost approximately $4.3 billion this financial year. This comes as rising costs and supply disruptions outweigh strong demand for hybrid vehicles. Toyota's full-year profit is projected to decline by a fifth. The company faces challenges from global events and trade policies. Hyundai Motor India plans to invest Rs 7,500 crore in capex by financial year 27, aiming to regain its number 2 position in the domestic passenger vehicle market. The company will launch 2 new models this year, including a mass segment electric SUV, and expects 8 to 10% growth in domestic sales and exports. Dabur India anticipates price hikes in Q1 of financial year 27 to persistent inflationary pressures, particularly in packaging materials, driven by Middle East tensions. This follows a 4% price increase already implemented. Other FMCG majors like HUL also face rising component and packaging costs, signaling a challenging cost environment despite recovering demand. Global lenders are exploring various financing options for Sun Pharmaceutical Industries' proposed $12 billion acquisition of Organon & Co. The Indian drug maker is considering swapping Organon bondholders into Sun Pharma debt and a potential euro-denominated bond. Additionally, Sun Pharma plans to raise $3 billion to $4 billion in offshore loans, with deal approvals anticipated by December. India's pharmaceutical landscape is on the verge of transformation. The country's drug regulatory body is gearing up for an overhaul with the addition of over 1,500 scientists and tech specialists. This ambitious initiative aims to streamline drug approval processes and align with international benchmarks, fostering a robust framework for pharmaceutical governance. This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.